Good morning. How you folks doing out there on this chilly Wednesday morning? This is Eric at Maykus here in downtown Grapevine in the Historic District at our project we've got going on there. As you can see behind me, the home's got the sound deadening in it. The insulation's spray foamed into the wall. We're ready for sheetrock. So I thought this would be a great time for story time with Eric at Maykus about sheetrock. You know, before I get into the actual story, I'd like to tell you why we're shooting the videos and why we're doing the story time with Eric. We want to show you what goes into the building of a modern home. We want to show you what's underneath the concrete. We want to show you what's behind the wall. Not just what it is, but why it's there, and in a little bit of an entertainment value, how it got to be there. Anyway, let's get on with story time with Eric at Maykus about sheetrock. Look at this right here. USG. Those are the folks that invented sheetrock around the early 1900s, basically about 1916. It was first called Sackett Board after the company, the subsidiary that they had that was working on it. You know, it took about 10 years of the experimenting process for sheetrock to take the form that we see it as today. 2 pieces of heavy construction paper and the gypsum sandwiched or compressed in between it. Now, it took them about 10 years to get it to that form, but it took almost another 25 years before sheetrock became the standard in residential building. Why? Well, it was viewed as the poor man's plaster. Now, most homes up until that point in time, the interior of the homes would be plastered. There would be wood lathing strips or a metal lath on the wall. Then they would apply a Portland cement mix, a scratch coat. They would have to let that dry. Then they would add successive coats, building it out to a smooth finish. Each coat would have to dry until the walls was plastered. Now, it was great, it was strong, it has a lot of useful purposes, but sheetrock was having a real tough time working its way into the industry because it was viewed as the poor man's plaster. Well, how did sheetrock win the war against plaster? Guess what? It took another war. Once again, we go back to the 1940s and World War II. See, plastering walls took a lot of labor, and it took a lot of skilled labor, and it took a lot of time. All things that we didn't have while we were at war with the Axis powers on the other side of the world. So therefore, sheetrock started to get its inroads into the building industry because the men were off fighting. Things needed to be done completed quickly. Concrete and cement was needed for other wartime projects. So that by the time the soldiers returned at the end of World War II and the housing industry just exploded, sheetrock was there ready to take the lead, and it won the war against plaster, so to speak. You know, sheetrock is still changing today, still progressive, and USG is the leading manufacturer of sheetrock in the Northern Hemisphere still today. So we hope you enjoy Maykus TV and Storytime with Eric. Come see us at our model, drop by the office and say hi. This is Eric with Maykus. Y'all take care now. Bye.